backdoors tend to be neglected, so you can't have too much.
Oh my god.
Okay, we are almost ready, but
Oh
before
my
I
God.
go any further, I need to put on some rubber for my own protection.
Oh no!
Now,
Welcome back to the channel, you bottom Mars gremlins. Today we're watching Lawyer? Oh my god. Anyways, if you haven't already, like, comment, hit the subscribe button if you want to support the channel. And yeah, we're doing a secret stream. Yeah? Alright, I'm going to my corner.
I want you to stay. I want you to stay.
this is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I recently saw a YouTube video with over 60 million views showing how to break open a padlock using 2 wrenches just like these. Now I'll leave a link in the description below, but essentially the video shows this arrangement. The 2 wrenches are inserted through the shackle of the padlock such that when they are pressed together, they lever against each other and exert an incredible amount of outward force on the inside of the shackle. Now, if you think about it, you realize that the force exerted by the wrenches is actually directed to the thickest part of the shackle and then through the shackle to the lock body.
Am I actually learning stuff?
Now, in the video, it's the pot metal lock body which breaks because of the extreme forces, of course, but also because of the weak lock material. But the trick really doesn't scale up because the forces are being exerted to a strong part of the lock. So even with a mildly competent padlock, the trick's going to fall flat. But I don't think it has to if we can redirect those forces to a weak part of the lock. So consider this master lock. If we had to choose the weak parts of this lock, I'd probably start with these little cutouts in the shackle where the locking lugs go, and then the locking lugs themselves. Those are probably the physically weakest parts of the lock. So if we can redirect the extreme forces exerted by these
Why do I feel like he's just going to
those
end up
parts of the
beating it
lock,
with a hammer?
I think we have a trick that could probably scale up to some stronger locks. So it's actually not that hard to do. All we do is reorient one of those
Why do I
wrenches.
feel like he's not going
Put
to,
the first one in like so, and then the second one at a 90-degree angle. So let's see what happens when we try this. Okay, looks like we broke something, but it's not completely open. Let's try that one more time.
No, you guys cannot escape the basement. You cannot. Okay.
There we go. Okay,
You can't use this information to escape the basement. You don't have any tools.
Take a look at exactly what happened. If we look at this shackle, we can see that it broke right on both of the shackle cutouts.
No escaping.
So absolutely the weakest points of the metal there. Now, because this directs the forces to the weak parts of the lock rather than the strong parts, I think this is a far superior method to that shown in the video with 60 million views, and it's probably something that's going to scale up better
views on how to open a lock.
on far
Oh my
stronger
god.
locks. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and
How much you want to bet someone used those videos like they were watching it on their phone trying to break into something? How much you want to bet they did that? Like, oh, this okay. Oh, okay. Got it. This is like a tutorial.
like it, please subscribe, and as always, have a nice day. Thank you. This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I just received a written challenge in the mail that I can't do justice without sharing in its entirety. It reads, Dear Lockpicking Lawyer, I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
What?
I recently lost the key to my kryptonite bike lock / chain while far from home. I called a locksmith to open it. When he arrived, I asked if he could pick the lock since I have another key at home and didn't want the lock destroyed. He said my lock couldn't be picked, but when I said I had seen it done on YouTube, I got a strong reaction.
Oh my
The
god.
locksmith became visibly irritated and told me
He
he had
would.
been picking locks for over 25 years, and he was sick and tired of people watching fake lockpicking videos and
They're not
expecting him
fake.
to magically open locks in
They're
2
not
seconds.
fake.
When I asked if he had seen the lockpicking lawyer, he roughly dropped his tool bag and told me, "You're the worst
Hi,
offender
Martinez.
and your videos are complete BS."
Oh!
After talking about lockpicking videos for a few minutes, he told me he was willing to put his money where his mouth is.
Oh,
Here
dear
is the
God.
challenge to you. The locksmith said I could send you the remains of my bike lock in a sealed package. And
Oh
if you
my
could
God.
open the package on video and pick the lock faster than he could open it with a grinder, he would refund the $75
We
he
timed
charged
him?
me for the job. We timed him cutting my lock. It took 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
2
Are you up
minutes
for
and
the challenge? Will you defend your name? I'll
Oh
be
my
watching
God.
your channel and hoping. Kindest regards, Malcolm M. Okay,
There's
we'll
no
take a
way.
look at the lock in just a moment, but before I do that, I want to say a few words about locksmiths and expectations. Malcolm said there's a kryptonite lock in here, which probably means a disk detainer core. While I'm sure there are some locksmiths out there who
You
could
guys
pick it
aren't
open
allowed to
probably quite
escape. Stop
quickly,
it.
the skills and tools required to open disk detainer
Not
cores
allowed.
are generally not part of the average American locksmith's repertoire. So, I certainly wouldn't fault a locksmith for being unable to pick a kryptonite bike lock. That said, let's open up the package and see if we can pick the lock.
Dude, he taped that. Is it in a prime bag too? Is it a prime bag? No, you guys aren't allowed to leave. Stop it.
Okay, this certainly is
He's
a
not teaching
kryptonite
you
lock.
anything.
It's one of their evolutions. And it looks like it has the old version of disk detainer core. So, let me get my disk detainer
We shouldn't have watched
pick,
this.
and we will use
You guys
a
are learning bad
timer to
things.
keep track of things.
You guys are
Okay,
learning too much.
Let's see how quickly
Stop
we
taking
can
notes.
get this open.
Stop it! Stop! No notes. He started the timer. No way. No. It's gonna take him like 30 seconds. No. Oh!
28 seconds.
Are you kidding? The man took 2.5 minutes to cut it. But yet... The other...
Okay, folks, as you saw, beating 2 minutes and 14 seconds did not pose a significant challenge. In fact, I suspect it's far less of a challenge than Malcolm will have trying to get his money back from the locksmith. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you. This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and today I'm going to attempt one of
Dude, these locks take me off, man. They make me so... Like, let me just have my ice cream. I just want my ice cream.
dangerous things ever caught on camera. I'm going to get between my wife and a pint of her favorite ice cream, and we're going to do it with this, a Ben & Jerry's Euphoria lock. It's a plastic 3-digit combination lock specifically designed to secure a pint of ice cream. Now, this is a lock that is incredibly easy to
has
decode.
the
In
wrenches?
fact, I don't recall ever seeing a combination lock with gates that were so easy to locate by feel.
Oh my god.
But that's actually perfect for what I have in mind.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd just cut it open. If, like, they accidentally forgot to take this off my ice cream and I brought my ice cream home, I'm just gonna take a knife to it. Like, you ain't stopping me from getting my ice cream.
You see, I've always wanted to get Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer interested in non-destructive entry methods. And this combines
Non-destructive?
a beginner lock with a really nice incentive to learn. So what I'm going to do is lock up a pint of her favorite ice cream.
Oh my god.
Ben & Jerry's Vanilla Caramel Fudge. Put it in the freezer, and when she finds it, hopefully I'll be able to convince her to join me on camera, and I will teach her how to open
She's gonna
this
get
up.
angry. She's gonna get so angry.
So,
She's gonna get
off
so
this
mad.
goes to the freezer, and I will update you soon.
The next day.
Okay, folks, I really should have known.
I told you. I told you. No one gets me. Listen, when a female wants her ice cream, she's gonna get her. I'm saying this is what I would have done, man. You saw it. I mean, my videos are unwatched. I'm just saying that's what I would have done. If you want to keep me away from my ice cream, no, nuh-uh. I know it's not pre-watched. Literally, you guys watched me open Ducky's playlist. I promise. I just said I literally would do the same thing. As a female, I would cut it open. I wouldn't bother. Like, no.
Known better. I came home today to find my wife standing next to the refrigerator, looking like the cat that ate the canary. So I opened up the freezer and I found this. So it seems that the lessons of the day come courtesy of Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer, who reminds us all, first, that security is only as good as its weakest link.
Exactly.
And second, that no man should ever get between his wife and her ice cream.
Exactly.
In any case,
I'm
that's all I
glad
have
you
for
understand.
today. If you do have any questions or comments
He's not
about
gonna
this,
unlock
please put
it.
them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice
I wish he would unlock it. I want him to unlock it, but I guess he's
day.
not.
Thank you. This is the Lockpicking
Oh, I
Lawyer,
freaking hate
and
these
today
ones.
We're going to talk about a security device
These
that I'm
ones
called
piss
upon
me
to
off.
defeat with some frequency. It
I
seems that
hate
every
these
couple
ones.
of months, my wife or I come home from the clothing store
Aw, thank
to
you,
find one of
Jason.
these inventory control tags still attached to the garment. My wife is
All
usually
right.
the victim, probably because she buys a lot more, but today
Duh.
it happened to me. Now, if you search on YouTube, you will find dozens of removal techniques, the most common of which is burning it off. But
Burning it?
if you mess up, these little vials of ink will break and the garment
Oh.
is destroyed. Fortunately, there is a fast and easy way to remove these if you want to avoid a trip back to the store. It only takes a few moments, and all you need is a powerful magnet.
Really?
Simply hold
Oh,
the magnet
right, because
to
that's
the
how you get
bulging
them
portion
off
of
in the
tag
actual
while
stores. They
squeezing
use
the two halves
magnets.
together.
I feel stupid.
As you can see, it comes right off. The mechanism inside is very simple. It's just a spring-loaded plunger that locks onto this serrated pin.
Hi, Satan.
In fact, if I put the magnet on it, we can hear that plunger going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lock it on one more time. You can see that's attached, and we got it off. So,
No.
next time the store forgets to remove its
Dude.
tag, now you know how to do it yourself and avoid driving
I'm
back.
buying these magnets.
In any case,
I'm buying them
that's
now.
all I have for you today. If you
I'm
do
buying
have any
them.
questions or comments about this, please put them below.
They're mine now.
If you like this video and would
I'm
like
so
to see
sick of
more
it.
like it, please subscribe.
I'm not telling you what type of lock is on the basement door. That would just ruin it.
And as always, have a nice
It's
day.
the Ben and Jerry's one.
Thank you.
How about that? It's the Ben and Jerry's lock.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I recently
this
saw
your tire?
a YouTube video of a news report covering an illegal car booting operation in the Chicago area. And being who I
No.
am, I decided to see if I could find the exact model of
Hi,
car boot
Christopher.
that the perpetrator used.
No
I soon
freaking
discovered
way.
that the model was sold under several different names on Amazon, so I picked one up, and we're going to see just how hard it would have been for someone with the right tools to release their car. It turns out that the right tools are nothing but a screwdriver and a tubular lockpick.
You're
So,
joking.
let's head outside, lock this on my car, and get to work. Okay, folks, we're out in my
He
driveway,
actually put it
and
on
I
his
have
car.
This locked onto my car as best I can, given the size of the wheel that it's locked to. The first thing we need to do is open this little door, and I'm going to do that using this tubular lock impressioning tool.
The thing is, you have to have all these freaking tools. And I'm not gonna have all these tools.
Okay, now that we have the door open,
Where am I
just
gonna
need
get
to
these?
loosen a little screw there. Normally that would be done with this tool that comes with the boot.
It's a
but I'm
fox,
just
by the way,
going to
Jason.
use a screwdriver.
Throne. Let me. You know what? Let me just put all these unlock picks on Throne, so that way I can just. What am I gonna do with them? Hold on. What would I? Yeah, I mean, ideally, like, what? Things? Things.
Okay, we are back upstairs, and as you saw, this really doesn't provide
I have a
any
screwdriver in my
challenge
car.
if, of course, you have the right tools and a little bit of knowledge, which I suppose is the rub. In any case, that's all I have for you
Dude.
today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put
Let
them
me
below.
just add this
If
to
you
my
like this
save.
video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day.
Let me just put this in my save file. So, like, whenever I get a fucking thing on my car when I'm at college. Can't catch me now, Cooper! No, I'm joking.
Thank you. This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and the video you're about to watch is the culmination of a series of events that started about 6
Lockpicking
months ago.
streams!
That's when Shane, at the excellent YouTube channel Stuff Made Here, posted a video build of an unpickable lock. That video, which I will link below, also challenged me to open it. I obviously accepted because the lock is here, but Shane wanted
I
to
did not.
improve his design first. And by improve, he seems to have meant completely redesign from the ground up, because what I received was the original lock
Unpickable.
and a second lock which bore no internal resemblance to the first.
Nice.
And I have to say, I had a great time with these because both mechanisms are, to the best of my knowledge, completely original and, in my opinion, quite good. Fortunately for me, though, Shane doesn't have a lot of experience with lock defeat methods, so there were a few minor oversights that I was able to exploit. However, each of the issues I found can be fixed with very little effort, which would result in formidable lock designs. Before we pick these, I want to explain what I'm going to do so my actions don't look
Unpickable.
too
It's
cryptic.
never unpickable.
That will require some reference to the internals, but if you want a detailed look at what's inside, you need to check out the Stuff Made Here YouTube channel, and all the appropriate links are below. The first lock, this one, looks something like this on the inside.
He has pictures!
When you insert the key,
Dude.
the pins in contact with the key will lift these upper pins that are shown in gold. Those pins then lock into place and rotate until they're in contact with this fin.
Oh
There
my
are
god!
gates in the fin, and only if these upper pins
He
are in the
prepared
correct
us
position
documents.
will they pass through. Notably, however, when that test phase occurs, when those upper pins encounter the fins, they are no longer in contact with the key pins. That's what makes this unpickable in theory. What I'm going to do is lift all of the upper pins as far as they will go, lock them in place, rotate them until they're in contact with the fin, and then drop them down until they fall into their gates. It usually takes a few attempts for it to work.
This is 10
but
minutes
the method
long.
seems to be reliable.
I guess it takes
The
longer
second
than we
lock
thought.
is even more complex than the
Oh,
first. It actually has
Jesus.
2 cores attached with an internal
Whoa.
connecting rod. If we look at the back, we can see the bottom core, the top core, and a connecting rod.
Fun fact, they tried to sue him for this vid. I think he decided to troll them afterwards. Like, what a Chad.
The shear line that matters is the one on the upper core.
What a
which we
frickin'
can't
Chad.
access to tension. It's behind this area of the lock. By the time that upper core actually turns, the bottom core is offset by about 45 degrees, which means you can't move the pins. That's why this lock is, at least in theory, unpickable. Put differently, when you can access the pins, you can't tension the lock, and when you can tension it, you can't access the pins. I'm going to try to get around that by inserting a thin piece of metal between the door and the lock housing. Then
I think it's
slide it up
Is it?
until we're over the top of that upper core, and then pull down, which should tension the upper core. Once that happens, I should be able to pick this as I would a normal lock. There are 2 other potential vulnerabilities. The first arises from a combination of this core rotating 45 degrees in either direction until it seizes up, and the tailpiece being misclocked by about 45
Dude, I'm
degrees.
actually learning stuff.
When we
Hi,
pick, you'll
Nan.
see why that makes a difference, but I think you'll get a chuckle when you see how they interact. The second vulnerability is decoding, and we can do that because all of these upper driver
I feel like I'm in
pins
school
are
for
the
lockpicking.
same length. A tool can be fashioned to lift all the pin stacks to the stopping point fully compressing the springs. That's an indirect way of measuring the key pins, which would allow us to cut a key. I did not create that tool because I had another way to open this. But that's
Oh my
something
God.
that used to be common before manufacturers started varying these lengths. Okay, I have been talking for too long.
I've
The
been
jig
talking for
that
too
Shane
long.
sent me to pick these in is way too big to fit on my desk, so we are going
Listen,
to
I'm not
mount
telling
these
you what
up,
I'm using this
head
knowledge
down to
for.
the garage and try to open them.
I'm not
Okay,
sharing.
we are down in the garage. Both locks are mounted in this mock door, and the frame is secured to my workbench. We're going to start with the newer of the two locks
Thank
and
you,
discuss a
Nyan.
vulnerability enabled by the fact that this core
It feels
will
like I'm back in
turn
class,
about
but I'm actually
45 degrees
interested.
before it seizes. That
Like, I want to yap and I want to talk to you guys, but I'm so focused because I'm like, oh, I have to pay attention or I'm gonna miss the information. I need to pick this fucking lock.
creates an issue as the lock interacts with the deadbolt. Now, under normal circumstances, a deadbolt that is fully extended can't be
I'm
pushed
starting a
back
new
into
robbing
the door.
business. Who wants to join me?
However, if we turn this core as far as it will go, it's just enough to disengage the anti-retraction mechanism.
Oh,
That's something we can certainly take advantage of while the door is locked. All
We need
to
this
do
for later
that
info.
is something that will turn the core and something pointy like the tip of my pocket knife.
Oh,
So, I'm going to turn this as far as it will go, then use the point of the knife to walk the bolt back.
oh. No freaking way.
Might as well let
Ding
them know
dong.
they're here. Next, we are going to attempt a picking attack, though certainly not a traditional one. We
No,
discussed
not
it
a bank,
upstairs,
right?
But what I'm going to do is attempt to slip this between the door and the housing so we can tension the upper core. Pushing this in will do damage to the door. However, I don't think it'll be a lot of damage, and I don't think it'll be very noticeable because it'll be on the bottom. However, I will show you the damage after we're done. The hard part will be getting this into position, so let's do that now.
Dude, this is a freaking... Is it quiet? I can turn it up.
I am pushing the tool against the door so it doesn't deform.
He's just really quiet.
Okay, I might have it, but the only way to be sure is to pull on these pliers and see if the pins are binding.
Yeah, I turned it
There
up.
we go. Click out of 1. Little click on 2. Nothing on 3. Little click on 4. Little click on 5. 1, 2. Another click on 3. Click on 4.
This is a bed...
Click on 5.
You're not locked out. I know you're not locked out, notepads. Go climb through your... Oh, I don't... I'm not gonna say what... Nope, I'll be quiet.
I don't feel anything else. Let's
It's
see if
okay.
we have this open.
Ding dong.
Okay, now let's work on the older lock. Once again, I discussed the theory of what we're going to be doing while we were upstairs. However, it's a little bit harder in practice. First, we
The
need
dog
to
is a
lock it.
paid actor. The lock is a paid...
Okay,
Did
I'm
he
going
cut
to use
the
this
key?
pick to lift all the pins to their highest position.
Oh, wait. He's using a different key, so he can just... Oh! No.
And when I release these, I'm going to be tapping on the housing with this mallet. It allows for a little bit more control as the pins come down, and it increases the chances of success from about 1 in every 10 times to 1 in every 2 or 3.
Dude.
I think we've got it.
Oh my god. Listen, no one take notes, okay? No one's allowed to take notes. You use it to escape.
Okay, folks, let's bring all
You're
this
not
stuff
allowed to
back
escape.
upstairs. I will show you the damage underneath, and we will sum everything up. Okay folks, we are back upstairs and I'm going to briefly address how to fix each of the exploits I demonstrated, but first, let's take a look at the damage to the door.
Oh, that's not
It's
bad.
certainly noticeable once the lock is removed, though much of the damage is covered by the lock, and the part that
You would
isn't
never
is
see
probably
it.
obscured because it's underneath the bulky
You
housing.
would never know.
Frankly, even if I saw that, I'd probably attribute it to sloppy installation and not to an attack.
No taking
While
notes.
we're looking at the door, note that Shane welded both of the hinge pins, probably to stop me from popping the pins and declaring victory. And I've got to say, he did the right thing because I definitely would have done that.
What the heck?
Moving on to the locks, the issue with the first lock can be fixed easily by decreasing the angle of the fins so there's no slope for them to rest on. Frankly, a reverse rake would probably be advisable.
Yeah.
With the second lock, the first exploit can be fixed with a slight modification to this moving tailpiece, reclocking that cutout by about 45 degrees. There are about a dozen ways to fix the picking exploit and deny access to the back of the lock, but when I told Shane about it, he precision machined a back cover, which is probably the most expensive solution, but certainly one that works.
There's a patch
So,
update.
I hope you all
This is
enjoyed
too
this.
much.
Shane, excellent work on these locks, and thank you so
Why is
much
there a
for
patch
sending them my
update?
way. To everyone else, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like
want
it,
the
please
April Fool's
subscribe.
ones.
And as always, this is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and on this channel I've demonstrated how to penetrate some of the most secure equipment out there, usually using some very simple tools. But it's almost always done
Remember, take
right
notes.
here on
We're
my
gonna need
desk.
this.
It's a controlled
have
environment
tasks to
that
do,
might not
okay?
be equivalent to field
This is
conditions.
important.
So today I'm taking
Very
you
important.
on the road with me. You see, I just got a call from my ex-girlfriend who's having a problem. Her new boyfriend is apparently having trouble getting in her back door. It's really tight,
Oh,
and she told
wait,
him to
no.
stop trying
Oh.
because
No. No. We're adults. We're adults. We're adults. We're adults. We're adults. We're adults.
all he was doing was pushing really hard, and she was afraid something would break. But
Oh, no.
she remembered that when we were dating, I
Oh,
used to go in
no.
through her back door all
Oh.
the time.
Oh.
This
oh.
is a picture
Oh,
of
God,
her
we're
back
adults.
door. She just sent it to me, and I don't see any reason why this should be a problem. Frankly, it looks looser than it was back when we were dating. So, while her boyfriend's at work, she asked me to come over and see if I could help loosen things up. I, of course, agreed, so long as I could get it on video
Oh my
and share it on
God.
this channel.
Oh
So,
my
let's
God.
drive over and see
This
if we
is
can
so
get in our
bad.
back door without breaking anything.
Oh.
Okay, folks, here we are, and I
Okay.
have to say that my ex-girlfriend's back door is far dirtier than it ever used to be back when we were dating. It seems to have been neglected pretty
Oh my
badly,
God.
but I'm actually glad to find it this way. So you can see why I always keep baby wipes handy whenever I do anything like this. So let's get one out and wipe all of this
Oh
brown
my God.
residue away.
I'm in the gutter. I need a timeout. I need timeout. I need to be put in timeout. Someone put me in timeout. I need to be put in timeout. That is a
Okay,
filthy
this is
back door.
pretty
You're
dirty.
right.
It might be a 2-wipe job.
No. No. Why?
Okay, now that we have the outside just a little bit cleaner, it's time to flush out
thanks.
the inside as well.
No.
And because we need to lubricate this anyway, I'm going to flush out the main opening with a good bit of lube. We just need to be sure to keep a towel underneath that opening so we don't make a mess. Here it makes a lot of sense to be generous with that lubricant. Back doors tend to be neglected, so you can't have too much.
Oh my God.
Okay, we are almost ready, but
Oh
before
my
I
God.
go any further, I need to put on some rubber for my own protection.
Oh no! No!
Now, depending on various factors, I should note that the opening could be in an awkward position, and all I have to say about that is deal with it. It's not uncommon, especially when you're going in through the back door. Now, I can't just shove in my tool. I need to be very gentle and wiggle things into position if I'm going to stand any chance of getting in.
Oh my god.
I think we're there. All it needs now is a firm shove, and we are in. Now you need to understand that just because I got in her back door doesn't
No,
mean
God.
that her boyfriend will be able to as well. So I need to spend some time working it in and
Oh, God.
loosening
Oh,
it
God. Oh,
up.
God. Oh,
But
God. Oh, God.
I'm going to do that off camera. So that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them
have any.
below. If you like
Perfectly
this video and would like
explained.
to see more like it, please
Perfect.
subscribe. And
No,
have a
we're
great
good. No.
April 1st.
Oh, we're good. We're so good. Thank you. Trevor, thank you for the time. Oh, God. Getting into my wife's beaver? A love lock that can never be opened? My 18-inch long Johnson.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and over the years I have tried mightily to interest Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer in my lock collection. Unfortunately, I've had no success at all, until last week when she came home with this absolutely perfect example of a Johnson. And it's not just any Johnson, it's the extraordinarily rare 18-inch variant. I did ask her why she was finally showing interest in locks, and all she would say is, unlike my 2.5-inch long cock, this 18-inch Johnson would be getting a lot of use. So, how does one use an 18-inch long Johnson? It's fairly simple. All you need to do is insert the tip of the shaft into this opening and press firmly. You'll note that while the shaft is fairly flexible, it's also quite hard.
No.
And that hardness
Oh.
is both intrinsic to the function and it greatly aids the insertion. Now,
Oh
one
my
thing I
God.
immediately noticed with my new Johnson is that no matter how hard I pushed, I wasn't able to stuff more than about 6 to 8 inches into the opening. If you try to shove it in any farther, you're likely going to do damage. You can, however, insert the Johnson in either the front or the rear opening. To get it in the rear, you flip it over, then insert the tip of
No.
the shaft. That's usually the hard part.
No.
Then give it a solid shove to fully seat it. Once again, inserting the Johnson more than about 6 to 8 inches into the rear hole risks damage, though you may be able to get in a bit farther with proper lubrication. Now, as
Okay.
you might imagine, I was quite proud of my new 18-inch Johnson, and when I received it, I showed it to all of my friends and family, at least those who I could
Oh my
get
God.
to look. I was quite surprised when my father took me aside and revealed that he too had an unusual Johnson. In fact,
It's not
one that's far more rare than my own. His, of course, is a slightly older model, which is generally built the same, with a somewhat flexible, yet very hard shaft.
Oh my
However,
God.
my father's Johnson is a full 24 inches
Oh
long.
my-
I can't even get it on screen. I've read about Johnsons this long, but never imagined I'd ever get to handle one. Now, when I first examined it, I noticed that my father's Johnson has a wide bulbous feature on the end of the shaft. Because of that, you can only shove about 2 to 3 inches of the shaft, really just the tip, into the opening. After that, it tends to get stuck. That said, it does seem to be very effective. So, I think you all can tell that I'm very pleased with Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer's new acquisition. And much to my surprise, for someone who doesn't like locks, she also seems to be quite excited about my 18-inch Johnson. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a great April 1st.
So, class, what did we learn today? What did we learn? What did we learn, huh? What did we learn, class? It's quiz time. Long John. Oh, don't forget you. Make sure you wipe it. Oh, I'm so. How did we end up? I don't know. I really. Oh my. There's more too. That's the. Oh my god. Okay, yes, we learned how to control a Johnson and that it only contains it. I'm just gonna end my video.